Yeah, I'm about to kick the freestyle to this joint. It's a good day. Hey, that's all I got. I ain't got nothing
To
else.
have a good day.
Hey. What you got, Whit?
Nothing.
You're going to kick the freestyle to that joint right there.
What's
It's a
up,
good
everyone?
day.
Welcome
Yes.
to Conversations with Whitney and Dwayne, episode number 49.
And
we
Trey.
are in the building. And Trey, our co-host Trey.
Hey.
Yes,
yeah.
welcome. Episode 49. We are excited to be in the building. Another day, another Thursday, another week, another month.
Yes.
Well, same month, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. The last week of the month.
Last week of the month.
We going into April.
Going into April.
Wow.
April. How time flies.
It's flying.
Like this. That's how it's
And
going.
it's moving with you or without
Yeah,
you.
you
So you
better
better
get
get
with
on it
Yeah.
That's
or
right.
be left behind.
That's what they say, man. Get right or get left, man. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Conversations with Whitney, Dwayne, and Trey. Once again, episode
Hey, y'all.
49. We are almost approaching our 50th episode.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, my God.
I
That's
think we need to have a party,
Yeah, a party.
invite people
50th
to
episode
the
party.
studio and have a little dance-a-thon or something for an hour.
Something
Something to definitely celebrate because it's a great
Yeah.
accomplishment.
Invite some of our guests who stopped in to show up, show us some love. If you guys are free, we may just invite you guys to thank
be
you
dope.
guys, salute you guys for supporting us and also blessing us, and blessing those who tuned in while you was on the show, or maybe watch the show later on if they didn't tune in while you was here with us having conversation. I think that'd be super dope if that's something that we decide to do with. But we're approaching our 50th, man, and the conversations continue to get better and better. They're
Deeper,
getting better.
deeper.
Yes, they are.
Analyzing.
And not only because it's us that's saying it, it's also because of the conversations that people are having about the conversations and how they are experiencing new perspectives, new relationships, letting relationships go, healing, right? There's a wide range of things that's happening and that's going on. So we thank everybody who has tuned in with us, everybody who's visited the show, had a conversation with us. We are extremely grateful on this 49th episode as we approach our 50th episode of Conversations with Whitney and Dwayne and now Trey. Yes, we are not stopping. I don't know how many episodes we're going to give y'all, but we are definitely not stopping anytime soon because we have so much more to come. We have so much more to come with. I just want to jump right on into it, man. Like, let's just get right on into what's going on with us right now.
Okay.
You want to go first?
Well,
Whit?
we do have the book, Meet No Authentic You.
Yes, we do.
Do not forget about that.
Yeah.
It's the birth of the podcast, the
Yes, it
Visual
is.
Live podcast. So do not forget about our book, Meet No Authentic You, Conversations with Whitney and Dwayne, inspirational messages
To help
you meet you.
Yes.
So it is on sale. It's not going anywhere. You can purchase it online.
How many books have you guys sold?
I have no idea. A lot.
That is a good that, we,
A lot.
we actually
We have to go back to the records.
You got to research that.
We got to go back
that's
to
a
the
great
records.
question and that's a great question, Trey, because for our next book, Don't Drop Out on You, right? Our next book for Don't Drop Out on You, our goal, one of the visions rather that we have for this particular book is we want this book inside of 10,000. Yes, that's the number that we're starting with. 10,000 of our youth. We want 10,000 kids, young adults, doesn't matter the age, to have a copy of this book inside of their hands. We want this book to kind
That's
of
the
be
goal.
we want this book right here to be kind of like their diary, their Bible, their
That's the vision.
Their Snap, their Snap, their Instagram, their YouTube. We want this book to be as on deck as any other device that they have in their hands. We want this piece right here because we got some things inside of here that we believe will help them deal with these challenges that they are facing, as well as parents. So it's not just for children. We want parents also to have a copy of this book. But our start is $10K. That is what we're asking for. Whit and I have been in heavy conversation about the strategic planning that we have right now to meet that goal. So that way we will know what those numbers are, Trey, because we don't know what those numbers are right now as far as meeting Authentic You is concerned.
Well, we do have those numbers. So we don't know on top of our head.
We could definitely get them. But for the next book, we definitely have a vision for 10,000 kids to have a copy of Don't Drop Out on You in your hands. That is definitely the vision. Well, one of the visions that we have for Don't Drop Out on You. So that's what we got coming next for you guys. But please make sure, get a copy of Meeting Authentic You. It's still available for purchase on any online books retail store. You can get a copy of this book. Please support this thing, man. Get it for somebody else. If you feel like this is not for you and you see somebody who may be struggling with not really knowing who they are, you feel like they spend a lot of time, kind of pretending, being who other people want them to be. In today's time, we call them fake, right? So we are encouraging you to have more kind of genuine, authentic conversations that will help you become your true, authentic self. So you want to make sure you get a copy of this book, because inside of here, Whit and I, we're doing a whole lot of revealing, exposing, right? Just being transparent with things that we have been through. And you just may read something inside of here that may help you, become more open to talk about what's going on, so you're not bound, so to speak, by what you've been through with shame and embarrassment or resentment and grudges and unforgiveness and any of those other emotions that's not allowing you to really be your true, authentic self. So Meeting Authentic You, get your hands on that. And
where can they get a copy?
Oh, again, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. You could go to these stores, or you can go Barnes & Noble specifically, preferably, or if you are online, you're not a person that likes to go inside of stores, you shop online, you can go to any online bookstore, retail store, and order the book. It will be delivered to you within a matter of days. And thank you to everyone who has purchased a copy of the book, everyone who has supported the book. We are extremely grateful for you guys' support, and we're going to need that support definitely for Don't Drop Out on You. Once again, that goal for Don't Drop Out on You is 10,000. That is the start. We want 10,000 kids, wherever they're from, around the world, and one location. It doesn't matter. We want 10,000 to have a copy of that book inside of their hands, reading it in school, reading it after school, journaling it. I don't care what you do. There's exercises inside of the book. We need your child to have a copy of this book inside of their hands. That's what we want for this particular book right here. What else we got going on with?
Tell them about your Vibe With Me movement.
Okay, the Vibe With Me movement. Once again, shout out to all my people, as I do every Thursday night when we in here. I shout you guys out for purchasing the apparel, for sharing the videos, reposting the videos, tuning in with me each morning. I just did something this evening, and it really gave me a whole nother idea about what I think I should also add to my morning videos. And I think I'm gonna pull up on people's blocks, just doing videos now. Just talking to the community for 30 seconds or 1 minute, just to give them some energy and some vibe, because it really felt good this evening doing that. And people was looking and stopping, and nobody said anything to me in particular, but it actually felt good to do that. And I think that energy is definitely, of course, needed in so many different parts of communities that we come from, who need, just some positivity going on. So that's something that I'm really going to consider doing. But in the meantime, shout out to everybody who has supported that Vibe With Me movement. It continues to grow. And I'm just grateful to be one of the people who's God is using to do some great work. What's going on with Go Get It?
That's dope. 4th annual Go Get It Women's Empowerment Conference coming up. The theme is Breakthrough, November 16th, 2019. This year, please come out. Last year was sold out. We want to see you there. Save the date if you're interested in being a transformational speaker, a vendor, being in the building. Contact me. You can contact myself at I am Whitney D. Smith on Instagram and Whitney Smith on Facebook. It's going to be phenomenal. We're planning some great things for you. Workshops, power presenters.
Yes.
So just make sure you come in and be ready to take off, because This event is going to be phenomenal, and it's our 4th annual Go Get It Women's Empowerment Conference happening at the Watson Hotel in Midtown.
Yes. Make sure you
Make
guys
sure
get
you
your
come out.
tickets. Make sure you are in the building, ready to receive, ready to give. Shout out to our Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. In the Mixed Radio audience that tunes in with us every Wednesday. Shout out to everybody who leaves comments every Thursday who tunes in with us, who shouts us out, who lets people know about our podcast, right? Shout out to my big bro. He's tuned in, my big bro Wood. Thank you for shouting us out. He congratulated us on our 50th. That'll be next Thursday. So shout out to my big bro for showing us some love already. He's definitely a huge supporter. And a big believer in what it is that we're doing, and I definitely need him to continue to rock with me because his support helps me continue to do what it is that I'm doing, and everybody else who helps and shows that support.
Thank you so much.
Yes. What else we got going on?
Well, we have our prayer call, our monthly prayer call, and tomorrow is the last day for March. Watch It Manifest March.
Yes.
Tomorrow we are ending our Watch It Manifest March. Tune in, call in 515-739-1015. The passcode is 383-812-662. Make sure you call in. This is the last call at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yes.
Interactive prayer call. We have been going at this for about 6 years, but we had an initiative coming into this year, 2019, January, Seeking God, for 31 days of prayer. Then we went into February, declaring and decreeing the favor of God in our lives. 28 more days. And then we went into this month, Watch It Manifest March. So after Friday, we're going to go back to our Mondays unless God gives us something else during the weekend.
Yes.
But call in. It's been phenomenal and been a blessing for myself and Dwayne and Treasure and everyone who has been calling in consistently. Thank you to the prayer warriors that have been rocking with us and trusting us to go to God on your behalf and trusting us with the word of God in a place, in a world, in a time where people are not even trusting each other. You are trusting us to go to God on your behalf. So that is phenomenal.
Yes, that is very, very important.
Excited about that. Have been excited about that.
And that's a segue to, tonight's topic of conversation as well, because we're definitely going to get into a lot of the opposition that we have been all coming up against in declaring, and believing what it is that we are asking God to manifest into our lives. Many of us are coming up against some opposition, and tonight we're going to have a conversation about how we've been handling and how to handle a lot of that opposition as we still continue to be prayerful and stay connected and stay positive and remain in a state of worship and in a space of expectation, but also not being naive or just being in denial that opposition is real, that there are forces that are at work that do not want what we're believing for to manifest and what God wants for us to manifest. There are forces that are at work, and we will have a conversation tonight about how do we handle that opposition and stay in the course. That is what we are talking about tonight. So stay tuned if you are tuned in with us on social media, in the Mixed Radio, and also most importantly, call in if you want to share something that just blessed you, something that you may be experiencing, and you want to raise a question to the conversation on tonight. The call-in numbers are 914-968-6499. Once again, 914-968-6499. If you're watching live, that number will be going across the screen periodically. Once again, it's 914-968-6499 or 718-705-4959. Those are the call-in numbers for tonight. We want to have a great conversation with you guys on tonight. That is the Go Get It. That is Don't Drop Out on You. That is the prayer call. That is the vibe with me. Trey, let them know about Trey Panache. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them why you're here with us on today.
The Trey Panache collection is an affordable premium hair collection.
There we go.
It's available in 10 to 28 inches, and it's luxury you deserve.
There we go. There we go.
It's an affordable product.
Can we say that last part again? It's luxury what?
Luxury you deserve.
There we go. There we go. I love that language. Luxury that you deserve. Because we living in a time where people don't feel like they are deserving of anything, right? Because the focus is the problems and feeling challenged and feeling defeated and feeling misunderstood and feeling not supported, and people are always on guard and on attack and just ready to fight and battle. But so the conversation of luxury is like, we might not even make it to that part of the conversation, because when we start talking, we're talking so much about the attacks and the opposition. So we want to have more conversations about the luxury, about the promises, about the favor, about how we live blessed, how we get connected. We want to have more conversations about things like that instead of always talking about what the challenges are, what the problems are, because everybody sometimes doesn't transition from the problem. Some people, unfortunately and tragically and sadly, die in the problem, because the problem unfortunately gets the best of a lot of people, and we don't want that to be us, nor do we want that to be you. And that's the conversation, or some of it, we're going to have tonight. So what else is going on with?
What's up, Trey? How's your spirit? We're in our spirit check segment this evening. Real quick, how's your spirit, Trey?
My spirit is blessed to see another 49th episode. Blessed to be a part of y'all movement.
Thank you.
What episode is this for you, Trey?
This is episode 8 for me.
There we go. New beginnings.
Yes.
New beginnings. New beginnings. How's your spirit, Whit?
My spirit is okay. But I am grateful and I am blessed to see another day.
Yes.
But my spirit is right now in a state of just a bunch of thoughts and things coming into play. So I don't know how to say it, but I'm good. I'm good. What's up? How's your spirit?
My spirit on tonight is bullying the opposition. Bullying the opposition. I'm realizing this month right here and watching Manifest March that the enemy has tried me in and through my emotions. He has tried me through my emotions, and I'm realizing that is not how I'm going to win this battle, and I'm not going to win this fight being emotional. And he's been using things to try to put me in a space to keep me more emotional than empowered, than prayerful. And I'm not going to be stubborn and say, well, that's how I feel, and I'm just going to make it always about how I feel, because that's where he wants me, and I'm not falling for it. He had me there early in the month, and I was having ongoing conversations about how I felt about how people felt about me, and he tricked me. He held me hostage for a period of time. So tonight, I'm understanding that I have to be more aggressive in this process. I have to be more intentional with declaring repeatedly, remaining prayerful, and not allowing my emotions to make me sick, because that's what the enemy is doing. And he did it to me, and I'm pretty sure he's doing it to so many other people. And I'm grateful tonight that God made me aware that that's what the enemy was trying, and that the enemy did do that to me. So my spirit tonight is that I'm grateful because I now have the tools to bully that opposition out of my way. And I'm doing it every day.
Good. Which segue us into the good news segment.
Yes.
What's going on? What's going on? The what's going on / good news. We're bringing good news. Trey, what's going on? What's the good news you have for us this evening?
The good news is, this is what's going on.
Yes, it is.
19-year-old Jaden Smith's Just Water is working to provide cleaner water for Flint, Michigan, where residents are still routinely waiting in lines that stretch for as far as 8 blocks for portable water.
You don't hear that story
for clean water. It's a filtration system called the Water Box. 19 years old.
That's dope. He has the funds in the back end and the notoriety from his parents to do it. And the crazy thing is, not even a crazy thing. I don't know if it's surprising at this stage of the game. No one even knows that Flint, Michigan is still suffering.
Right.
You know, you don't hear that story often. We heard it when it came out, but it's still an ongoing thing. Right. And it's not being told in the news. It's not being talked about. It's not being talked about, and we know why, because there's a disparity, right? And it's our people, and most of our people who are suffering.
Yeah.
People of color.
People of color.
Absolutely.
But that good news right there, Jaden. That's
He's
what's
doing
up.
an amazing thing. And we need to applaud him for that.
Yes,
round
applaud
of
him.
applause for the young king.
Yes.
Doing an amazing
And these are our young people doing amazing things.
Different type of young people nowadays.
It really is.
Yes, who are unafraid.
No, they're fearless.
Who are unafraid.
They are fearless.
And they want to reach the masses.
Yes.
We definitely need to pour more into these young people because they're our future. You know what I mean?
Don't drop out on you. That's what the book is going to do.
Yes.
Give them visions like this.
That was good, Whit.
Give them visions and goals like this to help their community, go back in the community. I'm sorry, Treasure. I don't want to steal your shine from the segment. This is all you.
He just inspired us.
But that's that don't drop out on you. We ain't dropping out on people.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, okay. Trey, what's the next one?
What else is going on is the legendary boss, Diana Ross.
I'm coming
75.
Hey,
I want the world to know.
Hey, let this.
She turned 75 on March 26th.
They looking good.
How fabulous
Goodness
is Diana
gracious.
Ross?
What water is she drinking? She's not drinking the... What water is she drinking?
Maybe she's drinking just water.
She drinking Jalen's water.
Jalen's water, just water.
She got
that's what it's called?
Yeah, his water line is
just water.
It's called Just Water.
She looks fabulous. Oh, goodness gracious. 75?
75.
Goodness, I want to
Don't
look
we
like that
aspire
when I'm
to look like
75.
that?
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's why
we're on our way because we don't we don't look
eat
our
better.
age
We
now.
gotta exercise.
That's right.
That's dope.
I went to the store. They asked me for ID. I said, "Oh, thank you for the compliment."
I always love when they ask me for ID.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow, you serious?" First, you get offended.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? Then you got to remind yourself, you look young."
Right.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So the shout out to Diana Ross, man, for being 75, man.
Yeah, wearing it well.
And going forth after a lot of her peers have went on home and transitioned. And
she's still here, she's still going. Still here, moving.
Keeping it pushing, man. You know, God bless her. God
transforming.
Bless her. Yeah. What's going on? What else we got, Trey?
And lastly, what's going on is Chicago Police Department.
Oh,
there we go.
Now, you know we had to talk about this because we talked about it.
Just said.
They dropped all charges against Jussie Smollett.
That's interesting.
But the interesting thing is they're not saying why they dropped the charges.
I don't know. Is there like something hidden that we don't know about? Because this
story,
like
something that's so fishy.
Because since it came out, it's been all these different changes and all these different situations, and the story not being correct or just flam all over the place, flip flops.
They didn't say that they found him not guilty.
That's true.
They didn't say that there wasn't enough evidence. They just saying they dropped the charges.
But someone said being able to see through the smoke in the mirrors. Elaborate. Call in and get in the conversation.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
The thing is that what I was gonna say, he can. Do you guys think he can come back?
Yeah,
have a little comeback.
Definitely.
I think
so too.
I think people forget. We I
don't know. I don't know if they forget. But I definitely
we
think
have short memories especially when it comes to certain celebrities.
Yeah.
I think we just want to forget.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm gonna be a little.
I forget about R. Kelly.
I'm gonna be a little bold and courageous.
Well, we can't forget about that one.
I'm gonna be a little bold and courageous with this one. What I'm about to say. Not disagreeing with your point. I think that when you are a part of a certain community, you are awarded the privileges that come along with being a part of that community. And I think that he is a part of a community, and he's fortunate to receive some of the benefits that come with him being a part of that community.
They support,
and
like
they rally behind, him, right? So, and here's another example of what it is that I'm saying, right? Not defending or not defending, right? When we look at a Charlie Sheen, right? We look at a Charlie Sheen, and I don't even like mentioning people's names, right? But just to kind of back up my point, Charlie Sheen, word came out that he was positive for HIV and AIDS.
Giving it to people knowingly.
Right. And you know what? He's still, his show is still on television. Right?
Absolutely. That's right.
They didn't cut him off, right? He's still on the tube, right?
But my point is nobody's talking about it, right?
Which is true, right?
Yeah.
So both points become valid, right? And not making mine greater than yours because both of them are valid, right? But I just think that, again, when you're a part of a certain community, right? Because of that community that you're from, they're gonna hold you down, and nothing is really gonna stop.
Yeah, there are benefits to it.
There you go. That's all.
So it's like
Because it didn't say Charlie Sheen doesn't have HIV and AIDS no more.
Right. We don't talk about it.
Yeah. Right. It's not talked about.
It's still known, just not talked about. So, it is what it is. Yeah. Let's get on to the topic of discussion for tonight. We done, Trey? You got something else?
That's it. That's
you got a hair tip for us or something from Trey Panache?
A hair tip. You know what? I do have a good hair tip.
What's that?
Ladies, trim your ends.
Trim probably talk about me because I ain't trim my ends in I don't know how long.
6 to 8 weeks. Because if you don't trim those ends, you know what happens? Those split ends run up your hair shaft. So get those hair trims on a regular basis, because a lot of people have the misconception that if I trim my hair less, it'll grow longer. You're actually, defeating the purpose.
Yeah, I inspired her because she said my ends needed to be trimmed when she put my Trey Panache luxury weave in the other month ago. Anyway, trim your ends, ladies.
Get those ends trimmed.
Let's get into the topic of conversation.
Yes.
Bullying the opposition.
Out of the way, yes.
Bullying the opposition.
Yes.
Everybody knows about opposition. Everybody knows about attacks because we live them on a consistent basis.
Yes, we do.
But like I said on a prayer call about a month ago, that I welcome the attacks.
Yes.
I welcome the opposition because it allows me to grow. It allows me to know that I'm important enough for the attacks to come. So that I must be a threat to something if something wants to keep attacking me. Right? It's all about perspective, though, when you're in opposition, because opposition is going to always come because you're living life. You can't avoid the opposition. There's growing pains to it. And it gives you a chance to look at yourself in the mirror, gets you a chance to look at other people, because opposition exposes other people and their motives. So opposition is a good thing, even though it doesn't feel good at the time, and you don't understand it at the time, and we don't want to deal with it because we want those seasons where we are free of the opposition so we can feel like we're just living life.
It's not realistic.
But it's not realistic.
No, it's not.
So we're going to talk about all this stuff, and we're in the conversation now. Bullying the opposition. And how do we do that, and what is it? And let's get into it.
Yeah, and I think, let's first establish also because I love how you started the discussion, right? Let's first establish that when you're doing wrong, there is no opposition. Everything just goes according to the wrong plan. I used to be in the street selling drugs, and I swear to God, I sold more drugs than I got caught by the cops. I got caught by the cops one time. And I went to jail for a long time, but I had a consistent period of doing wrong. So there really was no opposition. So when you're doing wrong, rarely is there opposition.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Sure.
So is it that you didn't see the opposition, or it wasn't, because had to be some type of, there wasn't nothing happening coming in your way, or it was just like smooth sailing.
When we went to, and I'm just really being real, right? When we went to the spot to cop, there was always coke. When we came outside to move the drugs, there was always people who was coming to buy the drugs. There was always
an opportunity.
There was always a smooth transaction and transition that was going on. The only opposition when I was living wrong was when police came and locked me up.
Okay.
So for me, right, when I'm doing wrong, rarely is there opposition. There's really no opposition in terms of competition with other dudes that's out there doing what it is that they're doing, right? Mm-hmm. So that can be viewed as opposition because it's competition and dudes get more money, they taking customers or whatever the case may be, but really not, because I'm still making money.
I was thinking not in that sense, so in that area of your life you didn't have the opposition, but that you have opposition where you face an opposition in other areas, because it doesn't necessarily have to come in
it could be relationships.
It doesn't have to be in that arena.
Well, that's a great question.
So the thing is,
and here's why this is a great question that you raised, right? Because I was so focused on doing wrong, I didn't acknowledge whatever other opposition was around.
There we go. There we go.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't
focused.
It wasn't that it wasn't there.
Right.
It wasn't that it wasn't. I was just so committed to what I was about at that stage and phase of my life that I didn't acknowledge it. So it seemed like everything was going smooth. Mm-hmm. I'm in the house, we bottling up, we taking the work, we putting it on the block, we putting it in the hands of the people who was moving it. They gave us the money once they made the sale. We go back up, we do it all over again, and we did that for a period of time. And it just seemed like there was really no opposition when I was doing it until it was time for me to be arrested. So now when you doing quote unquote right, and you want to live right, and you want to move these visions that you believe is going to take your life to new levels, and you're going to be a blessing to the masses, and you want to bless the earth, and all this wonderful new language that you learn when you start to transform, when you enter into a relationship with God, if that's what you into. Now you get all kind of, forces that's at work trying to stop you, to try to make you feel like doing what you once did before you now doing what you now doing is worth doing all over again.
You're paying attention, you're more in tune, you're more tapped in. And when we're tapped in, we start recognizing the opposition. We start recognizing those attacks, because then it affects us, in some areas and all areas. And it's so crazy. When we're on the path, wanting to be closer to God and want to fulfill those visions, the enemy knows exactly where to throw that opposition, and God knows, and God allows it to happen. So the enemy knows exactly where to throw that opposition, right? He knows exactly what you like, what you don't like. He knows he has a bigger vision for you than you have for yourself. Yeah. Well, not even have for yourself, but the enemy has a bigger vision, right?
Yes, he does.
So he knows what you like, knows what makes you feel good, know what make you crumble. He knows all those things about you that he can just try to throw that opposition, throw those attacks to stop you. Remember we was having that conversation the other day that the enemy has a bigger vision. A bigger vision. We have big vision, but the enemy has a big vision for us too.
Yes, he does.
And that's to come kill, steal, and destroy everything. Absolutely. And throw that opposition so you can start falling into those feelings, start falling into your feelings, so you are distracted, so you can't overcome, so you can feel a certain way about yourself and stay complacent and stagnant and all that stuff.
And let me say this real quick, because there's a conversation that's going on and it's been going on for a while, right? Where people believe that there's no such thing as the enemy.
I know.
There's no such thing as the devil. That's
crazy to me.
Really?
I'm sorry.
And I want to, if I could, right?
We can touch it.
I want to try my best to define what the enemy.
Okay, let's do that.
Is
that's good.
Right? The enemy is an energy, right?
Energy.
It's an energy, right? Now, if I'm walking down the block, minding my business, not bothering anybody, and here comes somebody messing with me who I don't know. Didn't do nothing to, because you got people who walking down the street and you got a person that just punch somebody in the mouth, hit them upside the head, pull out a gun and just shoot them for no reason, or whatever the case may be.
Spirit.
So when you say the enemy is in you, I'm not saying that the enemy ain't in me, because I can have moments when I was selling drugs, destroying my community. Yeah, the enemy was all in me. So I'm not disagreeing with that point, but I'm also arguing back to the people who like to say there's no such thing as the devil. Well, what kind of energy is coming out of somebody else who wants to harm and do something to somebody who ain't got nothing to do with what is going on in that person's life? That's for me the enemy. That's an energy. It's a spirit coming out of somebody doing something to somebody else who doesn't have anything to do with what's going on in their world. So for me, I believe that the enemy is real. That energy is real. That spirit is real. So now that we have that understanding, I believe that spirit, that force, whatever it is and wherever it comes from, is always at work trying to stop those who are trying to move whatever's in their mind, in their head, and take it to new levels. I believe that spirit, I don't know if it's attracted and drawn to goodness, that it envies the goodness so much that it tries to stop it instead of allowing it to flow so where it's supposed to go, that it doesn't want it to take place. I really don't understand, but I do want to first just say that energy is real. That's what I want to say. And I think that we bully the opposition. Now we go into the context, right? We bully the opposition by understanding that it's there.
Yeah, you gotta understand and know that spirit is real.
Yes.
That spirit is real.
And you can't fight that spirit with emotion.
You can't fight that. You can't fight that spirit with physical. What's what I'm trying to say? It's a spiritual fight.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual fight. Yeah. So the emotions. You cannot fight it.
You can't fight it intellectually.
No.
Right? You can't fight it physically with force.
No.
Because that spirit, that energy, right? Whatever name we give it, it's so conniving. It's so tricky.
So deceiving.
Like it's a trap. It's a trick.
It is a trap.
And you know what? And the thing is that spirit can hop from one person to another.
Yes.
So it's you guys, that's why it's so important who you are connected to, right? This spirit is real. Ooh. Man. This spirit wants to take you out. Oh, this spirit wants to destroy you. Yeah. So we got to understand that but God is bigger, right? Mm-hmm. But we got to understand what the fight is. The fight is a spiritual warfare. Yeah. Bullying the opposition is fighting with
spiritual armory.
Armory, yes. Good language.
Yeah. Spiritual weaponry, right? Spiritual armor, spiritual, like combative. Arsenal. Yes, there it is. Those are words, right, that we have to understand that's how we fight back. So sometimes, I know for myself, Whitney and Trey, that I found myself in so many what I would call emotional episodes and emotional tantrums, right? And I found myself in those spaces, and I've dwelled there longer than I probably had to dwell there because I overanalyzed, I processed emotionally with no intention to have a departure. Right, I'm just processing. I'm just emotional. I'm just in my feelings, and we don't bully the opposition that way.
You know what the thing is too? You can't. And let me tell you, the way that the enemy, that spirit, tries to bully me is through relationships. And the thing is that, okay, here we go. You have to know what maybe your I want to say opportunities or weaknesses are. Yeah. Like you have to be real in knowing those things that can distract you or trigger those emotions. You got to be fully aware of that. And when you're fully aware of that, then you will know how to go into attack mode. Yes. Then you know that's that spirit. Oh no, I recognize that. I know he's attacking me here because this is where I maybe struggle the most. I have the most opportunity. So I know this right here is a spirit of the enemy trying to get me distracted because he'll use those relationships to reel me in. Yeah. You reel me in. So you got to know and be mindful of those opportunities and where the enemy, that spirit, will attack you.
You want to say something, Trey?
Well, I think too that you have to really know yourself, know what your triggers are. Yes. You know what I mean? Because there was a point in time in my life where my emotions used to rule me. You know what I mean? So much to the point where I would, it was like an out of body experience. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know yourself enough to know those things that trigger you, that, and kind of talk yourself down. Yeah.
So this is how we talk about how do we bully the opposition, and we were getting into that with that putting your spiritual armor on. Because you can't fight it.
You can't do it by yourself.
Like we said, physical. You can't do that. Yes. And when you were saying, Dwayne, that you stayed there longer than, you probably we're supposed to, you could have got out of it. And the thing is, sometimes we'll just lie in it. We'll lie in it instead of coming out or trying to speak that language to the enemy. Yes. I'ma speak to you. You ain't gonna take nothing from me. Like you have to, and that's one of the things how you can bully the opposition is about speaking. We're talking about speaking its language, right? Yeah. Speaking its language. Yeah. We're not of the enemy, but we're gonna speak to you because you ain't coming over here. Yeah.
An example. Yeah. I know what you're about to say, right? And I'm not gonna say it either because we working on that, right? Well, I'm working on that. You ain't got that far, right? But I'm working on that, right? But I'm working on it.
He's working on his stuff.
So. A bully, right? When a bully pulls up on you trying to bully you around, right? And he or she bullies you, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and he's used to bullying you because he knows that you're not going to fight back.
And what's your position when that person is bullying you? You're in the corner. Yes. Right.
As I talked about, this is a plug, real quick.
Head down.
Right. The last 2 mornings, right? I talked about how when your back is up against the wall, right?
Oh yeah, you did.
And how when your back is up against the wall, you normally panic. Right, you normally get scared.
Panic mode.
Right? And what we want to learn how to do as we transition from how we initially respond, or rather react or feel when dealing with opposition is not allow the moment to keep us in a state of panic and fear, worry and anxiety, right? It's a matter now of attacking back. And now I attack back with sometimes the language that the enemy understands. When a bully is being bullied, the bully who started the bullying backs down. The bully starts to run. The bully don't want no smoke no more because he's like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting you
woke
to
up.
talk this way.
Person woke
I was
up.
not expecting you to do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's
woke
like, wait a minute, hold on. Where you get that knife from? Where you get that gun from?
Right.
Oh, wait a minute,
Like
stop!
you went right in your-
Somebody get him up off of me, right? So it's like you have to speak the language that enemy is familiar with in order to back them up off of you. But not only speak it, but you're speaking it because what you also want to remind yourself of is that the vision, because of this newfound relationship that you have with God, if you have that vision is more important than everything that you've already been through.
Right.
And life and death is in the power of the tongue. So what you're speaking will manifest. So you speak to the enemy, the spirit, in the language he understands. You ain't coming over here. You ain't attacking me no more. You're not taking anything, or you're not going to distract me.
Yeah.
My God is bigger. You know, so
And if
you come back.
And if you're not familiar with that language, or you don't have the language because you're new to this space, right? Because I really want to, I love putting
Okay,
myself,
so if
right?
you're new to the space, what do you say?
You know, that's where I was going, right? Being new to the space, right? And that space is, okay, I'm now on this journey, this new journey, right? Where I really want to see what my purpose is in my life, right? I really want to take God a little bit more serious. However you language that thing, right? Where when now you still dealing with the opposition that you was dealing with before you started this new journey with God, or going to church or the mosque or whatever it is that you went to spiritually, you're new. So you may not have the language, right? Or the understanding rather of life and death is in the power of the tongue, which is true. So you may not have that consciousness, right? You may not be cognitive of things like that. So the new thing to do is, I'm more than sure that you've seen somebody that inspired you to want to say, let me give this God thing, this spirituality thing a try. Those are the people that you have to start to identify and connect with, because they become mentees, so to speak, role models, examples of individuals who show you how to do what you don't know how to do because you're new to this process. And I know that there's somebody there. It may not be a ton of people. It may just be one. And that person is a person that if you can't get a hold of them, maybe in this social media era, maybe you could watch something on social media, Instagram, YouTube, their page, something that you can begin to learn something from them, to take whatever it is that they're teaching and be able to adopt that thing. Be able to nurture your relationship, your spirituality with what it is that you see them doing, because they probably inspired you to give this thing a try.
When I say the power, the life and death is in the power of tongue, you don't use that language. If you're not familiar with that language, but you're familiar with the language of a person when they're bullying you. What do you say to a person that got your back against the wall, that got you in a corner, that and you don't feel like, and you want to fight back? What is the language that you speak when you are fighting back someone? So that's what I'm saying about. And then when I say, that's what I'm saying about you speaking the same language as the enemy. The same language you speak to that person who's going to bully you, you speak that to the enemy.
That's good, Whit. That's good.
And you're new to this thing, and that's something that you can consider on this journey being new. It's about using those fighting words. Those fighting words that you are familiar with, but now is directed towards another situation.
And it's also understanding that you're fighting because, again, that vision that either was already introduced to you or will eventually be introduced to you, that is what you're fighting for now.
Right.
That everything for the rest of my life, everything for the rest of my life will be better than my previous life, my prior life. It will be. But that is the reason why you fight. That is the reason why you do not allow the moment that opposition is now bullying you around to stay in that emotional space. Because that emotional space, especially the older we get, we find ourselves, because this is what we don't consider. We don't consider how sick it makes us. We find ourselves experiencing headaches. We get sick. We can't rest. We're not eating. And we don't process those things because we're just thinking about the thing that got us being bullied. The problem, the job, the sickness, the relationship, with the debt, whatever those, or all of the above at the same time, that we're not factoring in what this is doing to me. And when you start to, like Treasure said, know yourself, and even if you don't know yourself, but when you see yourself, because you can see that. You may not know all of you, but when you can see yourself and say, hold up, I didn't look like this 2 years ago. I didn't look like this 5 years ago. I don't recall feeling like this.
I didn't
most
respond
of my life.
like this 2 years ago.
There you go. So when you can see you, that becomes enough for you to say, okay, I need to bully this stuff up off of me. It's okay with having a moment to feel. We're not saying
you definitely got to have a moment to feel.
We're human.
Don't stay there.
Let's be clear. We're all human. We do have, but you cannot stay there.
No.
Right.
I say this a lot of the time. When I was in prison, people came to see me, but you know what? None of them stayed when they came. I was in a prison and I had to serve the time that I was there. But the people who came to see me, they did not stay when they came. So you can have the period, but you can't stay in the moment.
You know what? When I was going through my breakup last year, when I was going through my situation, one of my oppositions or one of the attacks, even this year going through attacks, I allowed myself to have my moment.
Yeah.
I had to have that moment because if I didn't confront that moment, allow myself to cry, allow myself to be upset, then those moments would have built up to bigger moments, you know, and it would have sustained, and I would never have healed from it if I didn't have my moments.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to have your moments because you're gonna have to sit in your feelings sometimes. Jesus sat in his feelings, you know, if you're not familiar with scripture or whatever, if you're not a believer, but just looking at the scripture, if to use as a reference, use as some context, Jesus was in his feelings at one point, a couple of points in his life, in his ministry, you know, but he didn't stay there. But you got to allow yourself to have those moments so those moments don't build into bigger moments.
Yes.
And then life and time just pass by and you're looking at yourself like, dag, how did I get here? Why did I allow myself to stay here for this long? Now I'm sick. Now I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. I'm depressed. I'm home. Everyone who was supposed to be there for me or whatever the case is not there for me or whatever, being in this pity party, you know? So you have to have your moments. 30 minutes, an hour, one
Time
day.
up if you have
then
to.
get up.
I
get up. Pick up yourself and get up.
I got a 15-minute rule, me personally.
I got
a 15-minute
45 minutes.
And that's fine. I mean, there's no wrong time. You know, for myself, I got a 15-minute rule. Right. And the reason why I got a 15-minute rule is because after that 16th minute, if I'm still there, I'm dangerous. And I'm risking too much. It's too much on the line. And when God showed me, now I'll be transparent, when God started to show me what God had for me, I'm not trying to risk that for an emotional moment because of the opposition and whatever it is that I'm sitting in. And I've been through my fair share of things where somebody will say, yo, you know what? I understand him feeling the way it is he's feeling and staying in that space. But when God shows you something more than what you've been through, for me, I got a 15-minute rule. It's 9:30 for an example. 9:45, that's it. 9:46, I can't be there no more. I gotta worship. I gotta pray. I gotta talk to somebody about what's going on with me. I don't care if I gotta cry. Whatever I gotta do, I gotta get that thing out of me for 15 minutes. That 16th minute come around this clock, I'm out of there. I'm back to the vision, back focused, because I got too much to lose. There's too much on the table, and I'm not trying to miss it.
You know what? When you said you in those emotional moments, you're dangerous. And I thought about the times where I stayed in my emotional moments and I was dangerous. Yeah. I mean, I went back to a couple of things that God, that I knew I wasn't supposed to do.
It's a dangerous place to be.
I went back because you know what? In my emotions, dealing with what I was dealing with that opposition, I ain't care no more.
Yeah.
Right.
I ain't care what happened. I ain't care, who said what. It didn't matter nothing. And Whitney was doing Whitney at the time. I was in those emotions. Yo.
And that's what
be careful with that.
And that's what that energy wants from you.
And that's
what it wants from all of us. That enemy wants us in that space.
Enemy.
There it is. That enemy. I want you because that's what that kill, steal, and destroy is all about.
And he's sitting there. The enemy's sitting there clapping. I got them. I got them. They staying there.
Yes.
That's exactly where I want them. They down for the count. That's the goal of the enemy. Kill you. Want to take from you. your future, your transformation, and will destroy God's vision for you and everything that you can possibly see for yourself.
And here's what we didn't cover.
We got a bully.
He also, that energy also wants you to now grab somebody else and pull them down too.
Absolutely.
That's what it does. You ain't going out by yourself.
Grab as many as you can.
You ain't going out by yourself unless you decide to take you out by yourself, right? But other people are still affected by that.
The thing is, if I ain't gonna get you, I'm gonna get somebody close to you. So you gotta be mindful of to make sure you have your people who connected to you, that you got their back and you got their back, their side, their front, and that you're connected to them through praying for them and rocking with them and worshiping with them. Because if the enemy can't get you, the enemy's gonna try to get the person closest to you.
Yeah,
that's how the enemy works. But you bullying the opposition.
There you go. Go ahead.
So we talked about speaking the language, right?
Yeah.
Speaking the language. What's the second thing how do we bully opposition?
Having the
prayer. What about prayer?
Yes.
Oh,
speaking the language.
We said having awareness, right?
That's where I was going. But go ahead.
Having awareness. Then we said speak the
language, the enemy's language that he's familiar with.
Right. And
prayer,
worship. Definitely prayer.
Right. Knowing yourself. That's what Trey talked about, right? You got to know yourself, right?
You know what, with prayer, a lot of new people who are new to the journey or whatever the case is, they don't, talking about prayer, might not know the things to say. All you have to do is just talk to God. Talk to God about the opposition you're going through and how you might be feeling at the time. Just have a conversation with God. Wherever you are, eyes open, eyes closed. You don't have to be on your knees. You could be. You could lay in the bed. You could be in the car. Whatever it is, you just conversating like God is your peoples. That's it. God is your peoples.
Yeah.
A conversation. That's prayer.
And talk to him like you talking to your best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, Trey.
Just
in case you don't know.
as you would your sister, your brother.
God, I ain't feeling this situation.
Right.
What's up with this?
You don't got to use thou, thus saith.
That's right.
God, I ain't feeling it.
You don't got to use any of that King James language, man. You know what I mean? Like, no, you don't. There's plenty of times I'm like, yo, God, I'm bugging.
Like, what you got me here for, man?
I'm
like, come
right
on,
now.
God.
I need you, yo, where you at?
Yes.
Like, whatever it is.
Are you there?
Like that's how I communicate in my prayer life most of the time.
I talk to God.
Right? Good, bad, or
indifferent. My girlfriend.
But
that's prayer.
I guess this is, again, a lot of our conversations is always like part 1 and part 2. We don't really get to cover a lot of every, a lot
Not
of
in
whatever.
that
Because we
30-minute conversation.
We go so many places.
I know.
We go so many places. So I guess in summarizing, how to bully the opposition out of the way, we just want to be clear. Hopefully this helps somebody, right? That if you're dealing with opposition at this particular time,
on your job and your family, your relationship, whatever your finances,
health, all of the above, right? All of the above, right? Like spirits, you can't win that opposition. You can't win that fight with being in your feelings.
You can't.
Right? You can't win it being in your feelings. You are allowed a certain amount of time to be in your feelings. But please make sure you bring somebody who may be a little bit more or a lot more stronger than you spiritually into that space and have a willing spirit to let them bring you out of the space. Don't hold nobody hostage because you don't want to let go of the emotions about whatever it is that got you in the space in the first place. Understand that this person or these people are designed to bring you into a place that is better than where that space has you.
Bring you through.
Yes, because if you stay there, understand the consequences and the dangers that also will also accompany you, right? You're already overwhelmed by whatever it is that got you in the space in the first place. We do not need additional trauma, pain, disappointment. We got enough of it already. You can't eat all that stuff off the plate. There's some stuff you're going to have to throw in the garbage. You can't eat that plate. We don't want you eating that plate, rather. Excuse me. So it's understanding that brings somebody who's a little bit more stronger in order to help you transition out of that space until you can get to the point where you now can say, okay, I'm going to give this a few minutes. I'm going to pull myself together because this vision that God got for my life is just a whole lot better than what it was that I probably wanted for myself and who I wanted, whatever it is I wanted with someone else, if it is about another person or a situation that I got to learn how to just accept that that the time has either come to an end, the time has expired, and now something new is about to take place, right? And it's easy to say, Difficult to do because we're creatures of habit and we are creatures of routine.
You know what, too? The thing is, I know it's easier said than done, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to. There's got to be something else other than this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it got to be something more than this.
That's good. That's
so
good.
I know it's hard at the time, but you got to say, I don't want to sit here. I don't want to stay here anymore. I can't stay here anymore. I can't afford to. So I gotta get out of this. I gotta get out of this.
And the only thank you, Jose. The only opposition I want to sit in is the opposition that's transforming me for what I'm getting prepared
for. Yeah.
That's it. That's
growth.
the only opposition I want to sit
growth.
in. I don't want to sit in opposition that's not equipping me for a promise that God don't got for me.
Right.
I don't want to sit in opposition that's going to have me sitting underneath and now I'm subjected to your karma. I don't want to sit in those things.
Right.
I only want to sit in opposition that's going to lift me up higher once it's all said and done.
Right.
If it's going to make me worse and have me become somebody I don't like, I don't want that opposition. So when you looking at whatever it is that you're in, if it's turning you into a version of you that you don't like, then it's time for us to do something. And it's time for us to bully that thing out of here.
That's right.
Yes, it is. So, again, we may have a part 2 in this conversation.
We're going to have because recognize, too, sometimes we bring a lot of things on ourselves because of our connections.
Ownership,
but we're gonna definitely have we always say we're going to have a part 2.
I mean, we've been having them, though.
We've been having part 2. So we're going to have a part 2 next Thursday. That's our 50th show.
No, that got to be a
No, we're going to do a party next Friday. We're doing a party. That's a celebration. So we're going to have a part 2 to this the week
at some point. At some point.
At some point.
I hope that this was helpful.
Yeah.
If this helped you and you tuned into us tonight, send us a
up,
DM. You know what I mean? Send us a Facebook message. Send us something to let us know.
Share the video.
Yeah, there we go.
Share the video, please, because I know somebody's going to benefit from this conversation.
Yeah, big time.
Share the video. We gave like 5 to 6 tips on how to bully the opposition.
Yeah, because a lot of people are we're all
We're all being bullied.
Coming against something is on all of our heels. Something is. I mean, we're not pretending and acting like, it ain't rough.
Nobody's exempt.
We're
everybody
all dealing with stuff as we sit here tonight.
Right.
So, our thing is help not only you, but help somebody else and share the video. Share the video, have a conversation, send somebody our way. There's so much content going out that ain't helping nobody with nothing.
Right.
Entertaining. Especially on social media.
Just please, just bless somebody else with some of these conversations and send it out.
Yes.
It don't take you nothing just to click share. You ain't hurting yourself. You ain't hurting nobody else. Just click share when we post it. It will bless somebody else. It may even protect somebody in your family. Because what we also got to understand before we come to a close is with a lot of these videos in this social media era that we're in, you may think, well, I don't need that. I'm fine. I'm going through this, that, and the third. And you may think that it's okay to just keep scrolling. But if you share it, it may get to somebody who was thinking about doing something to somebody who ain't got nothing to do with what they going through. And that person ain't thinking about doing something too. Could be your mother. Could be your brother, could be your sister, could be your son, could be your dog, your cat. It could be somebody that you love and you thinking, well, that ain't got nothing to do with me, so whatever. They just want this. No, you need to share that because somebody is thinking about hurting somebody who ain't got nothing to do with what they going through, and you click and share or repost just might save somebody close to you or you.
Yeah, save a life and share the video. Next week, 50th episode, we having a party.
Yeah, we're going to get some balloons.
We out.
Yeah, we going to
Whitney, Dwayne, and Trey.
Yes.
We're gone. Thank you for tuning in. Episode 49.
That's right. God is good. God is amazing.
Can we
Keep
go out
the faith.
Can we go out to our music? Oh, we can. I like my little theme song. Oh, we going out.
Oh,
outro.
Hey, that's
Thank you for rocking with us.
Hey.
Episode 49.
Episode 49. Conversations with Whitney, Dwayne, and Trey. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace out.
Keep the vibe, keep the peace, keep the
love.
Yes.
Hey.
Spread the love.
Spread it, share it.